Okay, so let's talk a little bit about pacing. So we have pacing tables for what we call run pacing and what we have for row pacing. So the video here mostly talks about run pacing, and run pacing is based off of the 1 mile PR, and that exercise should come with your database. Okay, when it comes to row pacing, we actually base the PR off of an exercise, and the exercise is called 2K fitness test. So that would be a 2,000 meter row. So if I go to my database and take a look really quickly, I can take a look at my SAQ plus C database, and this would be my speed, agility, quickness, and conditioning. All right, so if I take a look at SAQ plus C, we'll see here that we have an exercise that is referred to as 2K fitness test. Okay, so this should be the PR. And if you want to add PRs, you can program it and let people fill in their times, or you can type their times into the maxes/PRs page. We have this other exercise too called 8x500 meter. And you can create additional exercises. This is connected in my demo account at 100%, but by default, this link is actually going to be at 95%. So unlike lifting, when we link a percentage at sub 100 for something like rowing and running, it actually lowers the PR time, so it makes it more intense. In this case, that kind of makes sense, because if we're having someone row 2,000 meters and then we're having them train at 500 meters, we're going to up the intensity on these 500 meter sprints a little bit. So therefore, we're going to lower their percentage by 5%. So we're actually going to artificially lower their PR, so that when we pull pacing for 500 meters, it's going to be based off of like a better PR, a more intense PR. So this table here for rowing talks about the different paces that we provide. And these percentages are going to be based off of that 2K PR. So for instance, a 1K pace target means that we're going to be rowing at a higher intensity, like we're going for a 1,000 meter row. So the time for 1,000 meter row, if we use the 95% link, let's just take 8 minutes to make it easy. It's going to take the 2,000 meter fitness test at 8 minutes, and then it's going to take 95% of that. So we're going to lower their PR, i.e. we're going to make them faster. And then we're going to multiply it by 23.25%. So then we're going to make it even faster at the 500 meter row, because if we took an even split, it would be 25%, meaning 500 meters of 2,000 meters is 25%, but we're actually going to make it even lower in terms of the time or the pace that we want them to hit. And then if we do a 2K pace target, that percentage comes up a little bit. If we do that 3K pace target, that percentage comes up a little bit. So let's take an example athlete. Let's take Rocky Balboa, and let's just look at his 2K fitness test. Okay, so Rocky, and then we'll do SAQ plus C, and then let's filter for the 2K fitness test. Here we go, 7 minutes, 12 seconds. So if you divide 7 minutes, 12 seconds by 4, right, for a 500 meter row, it would roughly come out to be, maybe, I don't know, I can't do the math right now. But if we prescribe Rocky 8 sets of 500 meters, all right, so let's take Rocky again, and let's take a look at the workout that I built for him. So I have this 2K prep, and I'm doing it at 2K pace target. So if we refer to our table, the 2K pace target is going to be 25.02%. So when Rocky looks at this rowing exercise he has to do, this is what he'll see. He's going to be told to row, and his pace is going to be 1 minute 42 seconds. What we're doing there is we're taking the 7 minutes 12 seconds, we're lowering that 2K PR by 5%, and then we're multiplying it by 25.02%, and that's what's going to give him that 1 minute 42 second row. Okay, if you wanted to create additional exercises, just be aware of how you link to that PR. If you link to the 2K fitness test, just be aware of the percentage that you're using. You could use 100%, which would take an even derivative of the 100% PR, or you can lower the PR by 5% or however much you want, and then that's going to decrease the time on their pace, meaning it's going to increase their pace. It's going to make them have to row faster to achieve that specific pace. So again, that's done by linking. Just be aware of whenever you link an exercise like this to a PR like this, be aware of the percentage that you're using, because that's going to derive the pace for that exercise.